Good morning. We haven't had enough coffee yet.
Yeah, I'm on cup 2 here.
I'm still, I don't know, like, what is that, a third of the way into my Americano?
I will say for you to have, it looks like you got that from Starbucks. For you to have like ventured out of your house at this point in the day, I commend you.
I have already gone to Starbucks and Publix.
Shut up. You are a superhero.
So I went to bed at 7:30, so
Oh,
I woke
that's right.
up around, I don't know, I think it was like 6 probably, but I kind of laid around and just herkle-durkled for a while,
That's
which
a
is
new one. I never heard that one
That's
before.
a real term. It's
Okay.
like laying in bed after you wake up is called herkle-durkling. And I've
Wow.
never related to anything more. I want to herkle-durkle all the time.
I also want to, but I don't know if I ever want to say Herkle Durkle.
I'm saying it so slowly, I feel like, because it's so hard to say.
It's a bit of a mouthful for sure.
Can we just say like HD for
There we
short?
go. Yeah, HD in it.
Yeah, but yeah, so I realized we didn't have any milk. So I was like, "Oh, I'll just go grab a coffee then. Since I have to go to the store, I might as well get myself a little treat since I'm going to the store at 7 a.m." So I did.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple updates. Just like when I listen back to the podcast and edit, I'm like, it reminds me like, oh, I could provide an update. Like I'll
Yes, and what we've already talked about.
yes. Thank you
Why
for
does
the
that
assist.
Why does that seem like such a great concept? I get what you're saying though.
Thank you. So updates. I realized that I was talking about taking off April 20th in our first episode for the Taylor Swift album. I realized that that is a Saturday, so I don't have to take off the 20th. But the album actually drops on the 19th.
So
I
you
did.
do have to
I
take that
did
day.
take that day off. It is
I
on my
don't
calendar. The day it's off.
I don't know if I have I told you what April 19th means to me? Since we found out that the album was being released that day, have I said
I don't
it?
think so.
I think I've held back because I didn't want to make it sad. That's the
I
day
think I
my dad
know.
died. That's my
Mm,
dead dad day.
no.
And we know this is going to be a sad album, so
Uh,
it's like kind of perfect. It's so dark. It's so dark out here, folks. It's okay. Yeah. So I feel like I'm just gonna be like, look, it's Taylor Swift and Dead Dad Day. I need a paid day off.
for sure. 100%. You
It's my
get.
cost
I
what I
had.
get.
Should we like cry together? I don't know. It sounds like a personal
Mm.
moment for you as well,
Well,
but
I always do something by myself on that day, but like I generally do
mhm.
that kind of like first thing. So I would love to get together that day. Yes, I think we should go to the beach and listen to it.
Okay. Next update, I did add my mother-in-law's birthday to my calendar on my phone.
I'm so proud of you.
Um,
It's
Thank
such an
you.
important day to remember. I'm so proud of you for putting that in your phone.
Thank you. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm very proud. Yeah, so that's it for my updates. I think next we just have like what's going on. How's your week been? How are you feeling?
yeah, it was an interesting week because my team was in a big transition mode, and I didn't feel as stressed as I thought I
And
would. It was just like strangely emotional, and I guess that's what I didn't expect. I We worked with her for a year and a half, and I am really grateful that I was able to like teach her as much as I did because she's utilizing a lot of what we taught her to move into her next job, and that feels really good because I've never really been in a mentorship role before. So it was like really rewarding just seeing her like flourish, and it was
aw,
cool. Um,
I love that.
so it was like weirdly emotional at times this week, but overall really good. And then we had a chess tournament yesterday, which lasted for 8 million hours.
With no seats, right? They don't provide seats at these things.
No, you have to bring your own chairs. And I've gotten really good at it, actually. Like, I just keep the chairs in the back of the car now. I just keep those in the car. I pack a cooler. We have to be at this chess competition by like 7:45
No,
in the morning on a
that's a no.
Saturday. And yesterday was the final one. So it was like a 10-hour day at this competition. And we had to stay so long because the awards were at the end. The very last awards that they give out is like anybody who didn't win a trophy gets a participation trophy. And so 500 people had to walk across the stage and get a trophy.
That is worse than graduation.
It was, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, this feels like a graduation ceremony. It's bananas.
Did I tell you when I bailed out of my graduation?
No, that's hilarious.
I had been joking like for like a month or two leading up to it that I was just going to pretend I had to use the bathroom and just not go back after I walked. And I was mostly kidding, but it was always just kind of like sitting in the back of my head. And then when the day came, so I was one of the first people that got to go up out of our like group. And my mom is just blowing my phone up like, we're going to leave. When are you leaving? When are you sneaking out? When are you walking away?
We're done with this now.
Right. I didn't want them to leave and start celebrating my graduation without me, you know?
Yeah, not cool.
And the guy next to me too, I was like kidding with him, but I could tell he was like such a goody and he was like appalled at the idea. And
what are they gonna do? Like take your degree back? Like,
right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, and how many people did you graduate with? Do you know?
Oh Lord, I don't at all. No, but it was a lot. It felt like a lot. So the guy next to me at one point, I look over at him and I was like, seriously though, I am leaving. Bye. I could see other people leaving the floor to go to the bathroom. So I was like, oh, she's going. And I just like beelined it behind her, like went into the bathroom and I come out of the bathroom and I'm like kind of at the bottom level of the arena at this point. So I'd never been to that part. So I'm like, I don't know how to get out from here. But I was just like, I'll find my way. I found my way, yeah. And somehow I bopped out.
And it. Like, yeah. They have the on-foot directions.
That's true, yeah. So I found my way out, and yeah, I bailed out of my graduation early. So
that's incredible.
That. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Oh man, I just looked at your name. I try to do it at the beginning because it's always funny. I am never funny. Mine always just says my name. Today, Tori is Turbulent Turtle. I like that.
Yeah, I'm really sticking with like the T alliteration.
I like it. Do you have a special affinity for turtles, or?
I would say, yeah.
Okay. You kind of remind me of a turtle.
Oh,
they're really nice.
So when you say that, I'm picturing Mitch McConnell. I'm picturing.
I just meant your spirit is just nice and gentle. Like a turtle.
Okay, thank you. I did take it as an insult there, but now that you have redefined it, okay, yeah, I'll take that. I like it.
Turtles are cute.
That's true. I work with turtles too, so
I love that you were like, I took that as an insult. Me, anytime someone speaks to me, it's like I am so hot-headed. I think everything is an insult. That's hilarious.
Let's see. What else is going on with me this week? I have last Sunday, I woke up in the middle of the night with some pretty bad stomach issues. I was throwing up because the pain in my stomach was so bad. So I figured out I think I have stomach ulcers. I'm trying to go to the doctor about it, working on that. But I've been drinking way less because of it. It's just not like good to, you can still drink occasionally, but you can't drink quite as often as I had been, especially the red wine, which is my drink of choice.
So sad. I know. I was just gonna say, like, I see you with a glass of red wine in your hand. Like,
yeah, it's you know, it's it fits my aesthetic.
It does. Okay. So are we caught up? I think we're caught up on the week.
Cool. All right, what are we consuming? Shows, pods, books. What do we got this week?
Okay, so you've got I'm not watching Beverly Hills, but I want to know what these 2 bullet points are talking about.
Oh,
Ken, as
yeah.
in Ken, Lisa Vanderpump's husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So for those listening, I'm doing my first ever watch of Housewives, and I started with Beverly Hills because I like Vanderpump and I needed some more Lisa in my life. I'm on like season 8 now, I think. I believe this was at the beginning of the season. But yeah, Ken had like a lawsuit against him for assaulting someone. I think it was someone who worked like for a dog rescue that they were trying to like collaborate with or something. And I don't know, things ended up going south, so they didn't collaborate with them. And then the story is from the Vanderpumps that this person was kind of just lashing out because they ended the partnership.
Interesting.
Yes, and then the lawsuit did get dropped like an episode or two later, or a couple episodes later. So I guess that's likely that that was the case. But yeah, let's see what's going on. Kyle Richards is being she's been on one. She's one of my favorite people in the show. But she seems like she's really getting jealous of another friendship that Lisa has with this girl Dorit. So that's what's going on in that
so? Are
show.
you caught up on? Are you watching like current
No,
episodes of it, or are you watching old episodes
this
still?
is old. I think
Cool.
I'm like still. I don't even know how many seasons there are total. I want to say 12, so I'm getting closer.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
a
much of a commitment.
it's a lot to get through, and I'm definitely more focused on keeping up to date with like Love Is Blind and Vanderpump. So, I'm
Kind
not
of like
watching it.
secondary.
Yeah, I'm not watching it as like quickly as I was when I first started it. But yeah, that's about it with Beverly Hills.
Vandy.
Vanderpump. Yeah, I had a lot for that for this episode this time, but I'll just kind of go through it.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so Rachel's still not talking to Sandoval. It seems like he's
Hilarious.
finally picking up on that, which
Took a
thank
minute.
God. Yeah.
Like, how could she not want to talk to me? Like, I'm just like, do you think he thinks like he's like a Greek god? How do you think he thinks about himself?
A lot.
Pretty,
I think
pretty
it's high.
high
I think the
standard.
bar is high. Yeah. He's not meeting it, but he thinks he is. Let's see what else. I loved this quote from Lala when she was talking about. I think she was talking about Sandoval. Yeah, she was. But she said we don't have to go to bed in his mind every night. And I don't know. I thought that was it was like something my therapist would say to me. I feel like
Yes.
just you be a nice person, just do your best on your end, and then if he's lying, if he's like messing up, whatever, that's on him, that's his conscience, you don't have to deal with it. I just really liked that.
I think she is very enlightened at times. Like she's fucking unhinged sometimes, but she has some points. I will give her that.
I agree. Yeah. I wanted to see. Oh, so Allie seemed like pretty nervous about Graham coming into the picture, and it was just funny. There was a point when James introduced Graham to everyone at the what were they? They're at the vacation house
At Lake Tahoe. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Graham comes out and he just starts like scooting his ass on the dock out there. And Allie had been covered up in the frame. Someone else was like standing in front of her, and just so bad. I wish that they would have panned to her face.
Yeah.
At that point.
She seemed very stressed about Graham. And that's fair because he obviously has some issues, like he's a biter and stuff like that, and she's got cats. Yeah. So I get it, but also just like she's so very clearly not happy about it.
So that was funny. I really wish we would have gotten a pan to her face there. Schwartz drinking foot whiskey.
I don't remember that.
I also don't remember that. There was something. Oh, he poured the whiskey on his foot, I think, because he like had a cut or something, and then just like takes a swill of it. And I don't know why I wrote that down.
Somebody needs to like.
It's unhinged. It's like a good snippet. Like if that was the only snippet into his life that we ever saw, we'd be like,
but
like.
Also, it defines him well. So
yes. Agreed. So Just kind of
Still.
pack that up and take it with you. Yeah.
I kind of
Okay.
felt bad for Brooke, like with the whole thing with Sheena and them not having a nanny or sitter besides her
Yeah.
mom. Um, I only say poor Brock because I felt like he was really trying to communicate with her about this like several times. And he
Yeah.
didn't really go about it the best way, like being in a public place and stuff. But at the same
Hmm.
time, I just feel like when you're not being heard by your partner and you just like get to the point where you have to like shout it at them. And also like poor Sheena, because it sounds like she has a lot of anxiety about like being separated from her
Hmm.
child. And I totally get that. Like it is not an easy thing. And I don't trust many people with my kids. I
Yeah, I relate to her a lot with like the postpartum OCD because I definitely suffered from that as well.
Mhm.
And it was just really intense. Like, I don't want these images in my head. Like, get them. I didn't ask for this, and they just like come to me. It'll be something like so silly. Like, I'll be holding him and just like, I don't know, walk by something on the ground, and I'm like, oh, what if I tripped on that while I was holding him on this hardwood floor? And then, like, I just like
The
spiral from
absolute
there.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
no one, it's like the memes where it's like nobody and in my brain, the worst images pretty much.
Yeah. The
So,
absolute worst. Well, and it's hard not to um go to worst case scenario when it comes to your kids because you want to take care of them and like
and it's all on me. Well, and Brett
mhm.
and my partner, but yeah.
But yes, it's a lot of pressure. Yeah, so poor
Um,
Brock, poor Sheena. Like I feel for both of them in that situation. I really like Brock. I like him with Sheena. I don't know. I feel like they seem good together. So that makes me happy that somebody's in a like seemingly somewhat healthy
yeah.
relationship. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
My favorite part of the episode was Lisa and the wolf dog, Oliver.
Yes.
I it took me by surprise. Like I was just like, what is I don't remember what the scene before that was specifically, but it just like pans to Lisa in the woods with the wolf dog, and I'm just like, yes,
This is
yes.
amazing. Oh, while we're talking about this is not on the list, but a friend of mine brought it to my attention. That Brittany and Jax are separating.
Okay, so I think it's a publicity
Uh, plu-
the publicity stunt. It is. There's no
yeah.
way.
That's what I saw
I
a
call
TikTok
bullshit.
saying
I
someone
think
saying that.
it's just PR because their
Hmm.
show's about to come out and I
Yeah,
want people to watch it.
it seems like good timing.
It was hilarious when Lisa was asked James what he liked about Tom in front of the whole group, and James is just like,
Oh
"Can we
yeah,
just survive this, please? Like,
yes,
do we have to be best friends? Like, no."
yeah. That was like so when Lisa like
Yeah,
asked that question, and I feel like everyone at the table was like, "No, that's too much." Like
yeah. Like
it
we're
was her trying to like make a story again or like amplify the storyline, I think. And
yes, and it's also like everyone I think had been extremely patient and gracious with him. Like, don't push your luck, you know?
right.
Like, the cast gave a little, and Lisa was like, I'm gonna take a little more, though. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very awkward.
Tell me about Love is Blind, because the last time we talked, it was sounding pretty crazy, and I would love an update.
So Laura ended up with I forget the guy that she was with, but he had been talking to another girl when they were in the pods and ended up deciding to propose to Laura. So they are in the pods and then they go to like a remote destination. I think they're in the Dominican Republic this time. They stay there for like a week or two and then they have to go back to the city that they live in. And they can either stay in one of their like living areas, or they can get a apartment that they both share until they actually get married, and then they can figure out the whole living thing. Um, so they go back to the city, and when they get back to the city, they also get their cell phones back and stuff. The cell phones coming back were it was an issue for a couple of the couples. And so for this one, Laura and her man had gotten a direct message from the other girl that he was talking to in the pod, and it just said something along the lines of, if you ever have second chances, like reach out to me. I'm here, or something like that. And remember, these people are engaged,
Which is fucking crazy, but
which
yes.
is crazy. And so the guy goes out one night without Laura, who's the girl that he's engaged to. His story is a little different every time he tells it. But the first time he said that he had heard that Sarah Ann, who's the other girl, was at this club when he was on the way to the club. So he said he had already left, and then he hears that she's there, and he was going to turn around and leave, but then he was like, no, I'm not going to let this person like keep me from having fun. It sounds like a BS story. It's all BS. Anyway, so he goes, he knows she's there. He ends up leaving with her, like hang out in the parking lot with her for a while or something, and then like giving her a ride home. And for those listening, I'm putting that in air quotes. And then he doesn't come home until like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. And at first he told Laura that he was at the club, and they were just talking in the parking lot like for closure. And then Laura's like, well, I saw your address and you were north of where the club is, exactly where like Sarah Ann lives. And then he just like got quiet. And so they ended things there, which is good. And
so is he with Sarah Ann now?
So the way the episode ended, they all like went to this barbecue where they brought the other people in who are not in the couples anymore, but they were all like other options of people who are now in. So they're just throwing straight chaos into the mix. So hilarious. Yes, the episode ended with Sarah Ann and this guy like deciding they're gonna give it a shot, and they both get on jet skis and like sail away into the sunset. It was a little dramatic. So they're together now. And let's see, Jeremy and Chelsea, they were the ones who like the Megan Fox girl.
Oh my gosh, are they still together?
Whew. I believe they are. But wow. It has been a whirlwind. So both of the other people that they were talking to showed up to that barbecue thing. And they're both like kind of secretly flirting with the others behind the others' back. And then when they're like together, they're being like weirdly fake lovey-dovey with each other. But yeah, it's just a mess. And everyone is dating everyone. And then our favorite couple was so cute. It was a principal and like a teacher, and they were so cute. They seemed super respectful of each other. We loved them. And then they just had this like kind of, when they got back into the city, the principal, the guy in the relationship, would not get off his phone. It was so awkward. It got so weird and cringy, and you could tell she's like trying to communicate with him and stuff, and like he's just so into the phone. It was so weird. And then she ended up telling him like I don't know, a day or two later that like she just wasn't having that urge to like be physical with them, and they broke things off. So that was kind of sad because that was everyone's favorite couple, I think, or the only one that seemed to make any sense
realistic in the real world.
And
dang, that's a whirlwind.
Yeah. Last little tidbit is like AD, Soup Boy's girl fiance, had a talk with Sarah Ann, the girl who reached out to the guy in a direct message, and kind of called her out and was like, why are you reaching out to someone who's engaged? He is still a taken engaged man. So like you should have kind of just sat back, waited for it to implode, and maybe then reached out.
Yeah, timing isn't great.
Yeah, but she's definitely being made to be like the villain because of that. That's it for Love is Blind. Tell me about where we're at with Crescent City. We were 600 pages in last time, I think.
I finished it yesterday. I had so much time to read, and I forgot how good it was. And I don't know what the like book community opinion is of Crescent City, to be quite honest. If I hadn't reread it, I would have forgotten so much of the story. I knew I had forgotten a lot, but then once I finished, there were a few times where I was surprised. I'm like, girl, you read this already. Like, because I think I just read through books so fast.
And you always pick up on more the second time around because you actually know where it's going. So you pick up on the little like foreshadowing and stuff more.
I don't personally know anybody else that's currently reading this series that I can talk to about it, and I just need to know other people's thoughts because I think it's so good. Um,
Also, if
so
you are reading this, you can email us and let us know your
please,
thoughts on it.
please email me. I would love to know. I would love to know your thoughts. Send us an email. So yeah, and one other really cool thing. The author of this series is Sarah J. Maas, and her most popular series, I guess, is Akatar. And like over a year ago, Hulu came out and said that they were going to be turning it into a series. And but we never like heard anything else, so it's just been kind of dead. Like there hasn't been any movement on that. But this week, Sarah J. Maas was seen having coffee with Margot Robbie,
Oh,
and the possibilities inside, like it could be for Akatar, it could be for Throne of Glass, it could be for Crescent City, like it could be for any of those things. And it's like the two of the strongest women in the entire world. Like my brain just exploded when I saw the picture of them.
hell yeah.
Whatever it means, even if they're just obsessing over each other and they're not like working together, but like they're working together.
It feels like it, right?
They it would only make sense. And also, it was not a super exciting thing when Hulu came out and said that they had the rights to it. Because it's Hulu, and it's like, what's the budget going to be for this? No
Mm-hmm,
offense, a little offense maybe, but like, can we
mm-hmm.
give this to HBO or
Right.
let's do this right? And
But if we have Margot Robbie in it, then we know we're doing good.
I personally always pictured from the Akatar series, there's a character named Morgan, and I always pictured Margot Robbie as Morgan. And she's like a total badass, and all the characters are. But anyway, yeah, it's super exciting.
That's exciting, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just stalking the internet for like updates on that, and I'm gonna read the book today. So, woo!
Heck yeah. So General, did you hear about the Mount Swiftmore rumor?
Mount Swiftmore. I cannot say this is one that I am familiar with.
So it was a very short-lived thing on TikTok. I only was seeing anything about it for like a day or two, but I think people were trying to trick people into the fact that they were going to replace Thomas Jefferson on Mount Rushmore with Taylor Swift. So like Swifties were coming up with these videos like explaining why it makes sense and stuff, just hoping that like people are gonna scroll through it and just like get upset with it. So I just thought that was funny. I passed through like
Horrible.
a couple of people explaining like why this should happen and stuff, and I just thought it was funny just to like rile people up.
Yeah, can we petition like other like not Mount Rushmore? Like leave those guys. I don't want to be with them. I don't want to hang out with them. And who the fuck carved that stuff? Like
Yeah,
I would love
I'm sure there's probably answers.
there's definitely answers on the internet. I just don't know what they are. But yeah, like let's get a female mountain range going
Yeah,
somewhere else.
where's that? We need Taylor Swift. We need Beyonce. We could pop Margot Robbie up there.
Margot Robbie is definitely on there.
Yep.
Ruth Bader
Yes,
Ginsburg.
she should be on there twice.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like one on the end, each end.
Yeah, just kind of like
Just sandwiched
bookends, just kind of supporting all the other women around her. Yeah,
Correct.
that tracks. That makes sense.
And I don't know why, but I feel like Millie Bobby Brown. I just love
for
her. I
sure.
think she's so cute.
So oh,
The
she was
future.
so cute. Yeah.
It is.
You might want to buckle in for this next one. You're not gonna like this, but you remember that like a dreadlock in the under part of my hair?
Yeah.
And I would tell
my
you,
God.
I would tell you how frustrated I get. Like I've literally been having anxiety about showering now because I brush my hair in the shower, and this dreadlock has just I cannot brush through it half the time. It's really it's weighing on my mental health at this point.
And your like literal head.
Yes, and my little head. And just
Not
for a
comfortable.
little bit of background for those who are listening, during COVID 2020, I did what everyone else did with their hair, and I went wild with it. So I
It
had
was
not
so fun
put
though. I loved getting to color your hair.
it was so much fun, but I had not had any color in my hair for 7 years before that. And I was just like, let's do pink, let's do blue. But unfortunately, because I have brown hair, you have to bleach your hair to put. It's funny because the dyes are like not bad. They're actually like pretty. They're good for
Right.
your hair.
It's the bleach.
Um,
Just gonna have to get some really cute clips.
yes, I have to get. I gotta go on Amazon and have them here by like tonight or early
Yes.
tomorrow because I have to put my hair up for work tomorrow. And
Yeah,
there's
that's what
definitely
I was
like
thinking.
I feel good about it, honestly. It was a big chunk of hair, but
It
I'm
just
so
needs to
happy
grow
for it
back
to be
like
away.
healthy.
Yes, and it wasn't because it just kept getting tangled up in itself. It's been years now, like 2 years now that I've been dealing with this, and
Mhm.
they kept saying, "Well, when it grows out, it's going to be better. It just has to grow out." But it's not. It's in such a bad state that it just keeps like tangling, and then when I undo the tangles, it's all wonked up.
Yeah.
So I cut it. I'm sorry to all the hairstylists listening to this. I just didn't make my appointment
No.
soon enough, and I got wild. So I think I am gonna make a hair appointment, see what she can do to help me out.
Yeah,
But
like maybe when's the last time you had like short hair?
I'm thinking about it, dude.
I think it
There's
would look so cute.
I've never had short hair, and I might do it
It
because
just
I'm
might
just
be
so
worth
sick
it to
of.
cut off as much as you possibly can and just let it regrow.
I've been doing the hair treatment, the at home like laser hair removal.
Oh.
I've seen no results yet. And we're about, I think, 3 weeks in. I will say, though, I'm not doing it as often. You're supposed to do it twice a week at this point, and it's like I blink and a week has gone by. So
Yeah.
I've only been doing it once a week, so that could be on me. But stay tuned. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm using the nude one. If anyone out there is using it, please tell me if it has been successful for you. I'm curious.
That's
Um,
awesome. I didn't even realize you were doing that.
yeah,
That's such a good idea, but also scares me.
I
Does it
just hope
hurt?
no. Well, it can if you turn it up too much, but the hurt is very minor. It's just like a
Okay.
little sting, and then you realize, nope, that was a little much, and you
Yeah.
turn it down.
That was a little much.
Ouch.
That was a little aggressive.
Yeah. Um, Taylor Allison Swift has really been just
Clowning.
keeping us. She's been clowning. Okay, she's been turning us into clowns. She these last couple days. So it is Sunday, March 3rd today when we're recording, and Taylor's in Singapore this morning. She did the night 2 in Singapore. Yesterday for okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's back it up. My theory had been I had this epiphany a couple days ago because they shared like Taylor Nation. No, actually, I think it was on Taylor Swift's Instagram, but she shared one of the mashups she had done from Singapore Night One, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it was from Melbourne. I'm not sure, but she shared a mashup and it was in black and white, and I just had this epiphany all of a sudden of like white. We all know is Torture Poets Department. We know black is Reputation. She's doing the twos everywhere. Like, are we? Does it mean that we're getting Reputation like
Yeah, what was her
with
what did she do to the twos in the Grammy when she was at the Grammys when she was
two
talking about
years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, is she saying that we're gonna get rep like either during this time that we're waiting for Torture Poets Department or like the day Torture Poets Department comes out too? Because also the black I cannot let go of the black nail on the teacup. And just for those listening who don't know this, Taylor Nation, Taylor Swift, is just really like emphasizing this image. I think it was in a music video, right? It was in the Karma. I
Armin?
don't know what. I want to say Karma too. I'm not totally sure, honestly, where the teacup came from, but she had a blue nail on, I believe, August when she announced the 1989, and then a black nail on 2. which would be February. And we did not get a Reputation announcement in February. We did get a Torture Poets Department announcement, but I was thinking if they're correlated or like a double album drop of some sort, then the Tortured Poets Department technically is the Reputation TV announcement as well. So it makes sense for the black nail on the two.
Interesting. So you're taking it as the announcement for Tortured Poets is the announcement for Reputation,
Yes.
but because it's Reputation, there is no explanation.
Right, and everything's in black and white, and we know Tortured Poets Department is white. But
it's interesting theory.
Today, yeah, I thought so. You know, I really thought I was onto something.
It's good.
And then today, so yesterday her site went black. During her set, it was black.
I love that your husband was looking through the website code. I also did that the last time she was being shady.
Heck
That's
yeah.
Hilarious.
I love having coder friends and
partner
relations, I guess. Yeah, partner.
I am also your partner, so you could just say partners.
That's true. Yes, I love him for that. I love you for that. So yes. And so anyways, the website went black. So I was like, this is it. Like, are we getting Reputation? Because the other album variants, and I will say I did really feel like she was going to do 4 variants, and I was kind of shocked that she didn't kind of have the same lead up to this variant as the other 3 variants. I was like, maybe it is just 3 that she's doing.
Yeah.
Because this one felt so different. I was like, it can't be another variant. It feels so different. And she's doing black. So, like, literally, are we getting Reputation, like, now? And
that's fine. Just give it to us.
It wasn't Reputation. It was not. It was the Black Dog, which I am excited about too. It's a song, you know, one more song, but I do kind of wish all the songs would be on one album. I think we've already gone over that though. But yeah, so now I don't know what to think because she's using black as a color now for Tortured Poets Department. So it almost blows up my whole theory. And I just feel like
maybe that is why she's doing it.
It's
to blow up your theory specifically.
Specifically, I'm sure.
She's like, I've heard this one from this girl in Florida.
She never put it on TikTok or anything, but
never ever.
I do think like other creators probably are like other people probably came to the same thing too, because I started right after I like had that epiphany, I started seeing other TikToks not saying the exact same thing, but like kind of bring up the black and white and the 2s and double album things. So I think she was just kind of leading us down the rabbit hole again for no. It was a red herring, another red herring.
Yeah, but it's like I think she's doing it to mess with us though.
100%. And I tell you, the vault tracks on Reputation, which I already
at night thinking about that.
Already know they're going to be bangers, but like she has got to deliver now after all of this. Which I know she will. I'm not even worried about it, but there's just been so much buildup, and I'm gonna freak out if I don't get Reputation. I'm gonna slam my fists on the ground like a little baby.
I cannot, like, I really do stay up at night thinking about how awesome those vault tracks are about to be. Like,
they're gonna be so good, dude. Oh. So that's my Swiftie spiel for the day. So much has happened since we recorded last.
Thank you for keeping me updated because I can no longer keep up with it via social media because it just pains me. Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. It is. And you always know what's going down.
The girlies keep me in the loop, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Just annoying things. So Amber and I have curated this list over the last week since we recorded last. I think I had a couple on here from before. And yeah, it's just little things that have come up that may seem trivial. reading back, they may seem trivial, but I promise you, in the moment, they really
Yeah.
did fit the bill of the most annoying.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sure there's far more than this, but these are the ones we choose to complain about. Having to get gas blows.
Ever. Like, I never expect it. I don't drive ever since COVID, like I don't drive as much. And it's always a shocker to me when the light comes on. And then I also run it until like 1 mile to E every
Correct.
time.
Yeah, if you're not doing that, you're not spending your time efficiently. You got to let it be totally empty.
I
I
could,
think it's actually the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
like, say my job is 15 miles away and I get in my car and it says 16 miles to E. I'm like, great, I can make it to work. I don't even have to stop. It's right now, it's not my problem.
No.
Another thing on the car thread, buying tires, and this has just, since the moment I've ever owned a car, this has just haunted me.
Yeah.
It's the least exciting thing that you
Mhm.
have to spend a bunch of money on as an adult. And every time it
And
comes
they
up, it's like,
always try to overcharge you a ridiculous
yes,
amount for
yes.
tires. Like a
And it's like,
ridiculous amount.
it is crazy. Yeah, especially being a girl going into those places sometimes. I do my research before and I'm like, you can't sway me. I know what I need.
Yeah. I just always say some like passive aggressive thing like my husband already did
Yeah.
this. Like
Yeah. No, my
you got to
husband
bring
said
a
no.
man you got to bring a man into it so that they'll know you're serious. It's
For
really
real
great.
though.
Great.
I think I have a couple car related ones, so I'm just gonna kind of bounce around the list here.
Do it.
Another one I have, I don't even know if I had it on the list, but the fact that they surprise you on your birthday every year with having to register your vehicle again.
I think that is the meanest thing ever. It was not like that in Virginia. It did not go by
Oh,
your birthday.
yeah, it's so messed up.
It went by like whenever you registered your car to begin with. Like it
Like,
make why my birthday? Can we make it my half birthday?
on that note, I'm realizing maybe I should check my tag because I have not done that yet. But I think I got 2 years last time, so
I
that's
tried to do that but then I have forgotten because I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I think I paid for 2 years. And it's like, no, that was 3 years ago.
It's such a mess because by the time I realize that I've missed it, we're 6 months past.
Yeah.
And then I get it, and it comes up so soon because it's only been 6 months. And it's just a bad cycle. It's a bad cycle.
Florida's weird with vehicles. Like in Virginia, you have to also have your car inspected every year. I feel like that's a pretty
Oh, I've seen
good
that.
standard, to make sure like your car doesn't blow up on the road or some crazy stuff like that. So when we moved to Florida and they were like, "Oh no, what? No, you don't do that here." It's just like,
Florida is a free for all. RAV4 seats is another one, another
that's
car
oddly
theme.
specific.
It is. And I will say that I have always loved a RAV4 from the outside perspective. And I was really excited when we went to Oregon recently, and a RAV4 is what they gave us as our rental car. And we had a 4 hour drive and then like another 2 hours after that. So like 6 hours total throughout the day. We were like 3 hours into our drive, and my butt was so sore. These seats are not it. Like, my tailbone it's been a month and my tailbone is like still bruised. The airplane seats were more comfortable than the RAV4s, and I'm very upset. I really wanted a RAV4 as my next car, and it's not happening now. No freaking
Well,
way.
no, because your butt will just always hurt.
Always. I
What
mean,
the heck? That's
I am so
that's
sore.
so. I need to Google this.
And I don't know, maybe it's just like the shape of my butt doesn't work on their seats. I don't, something was off about it. And I'm still paying the price.
Why
And
do RAV4s have such hard seats?
did that come up, or is that what you're searching?
That's what I Googled.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Maybe,
yes, there are some. Reddit threads, uncomfortable seats, Toyota
It's not a
RAV4
lie.
forum.
It is not a lie.
Maybe it was just that specific RAV4. Maybe there are others out there that don't. You'll have
I
to
will
just test
say,
drive the seats.
yeah.
Oh my God, I can't talk today.
Last car related one. But this one's kind of like a macroscopic view. It just says everyone else on the road.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
is the
Totally
most
fair.
annoying. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
stand by that. I did write that on a morning when I had little coffee, and people were actually no coffee yet, and
Oh,
I felt very annoyed. I honked twice in the 15-minute drive from my house to the coffee shop, and then I almost got ran over walking out of the coffee shop. So
oh my
valid, I think.
gosh, that was a rough time.
Yes, so I think this is a valid
You
point
were
here.
you're like, I kept maintaining eye contact. I continued maintaining eye contact up until they literally almost hit me. Like that is some grade A, like I don't even know how to classify that.
Stubbornness, maybe
Yes,
unnecessary stubbornness.
but
Um,
it's the audacity of people in vehicles. Like you could
mhm.
slaughter someone. That's why they call it manslaughter. You could slaughter someone with your vehicle.
Yes.
Okay, so you should you stop looking at me
Exactly.
and hit your brakes. Okay.
I was standing my ground, I tell you what. I guess we should fill people in with that story.
Now that we've
Um,
told half
now
of
that,
it.
now that we've gotten into it and all. So I woke up the other morning and I didn't have any coffee, which that's another thing on the list. We can go ahead and check that off of the most annoying thing. Woke up, no coffee, which is just like, it's such a shocker every time that happens because I literally, it's so hard for me to even get dressed without having the coffee in me. And
Yeah.
to acquire the coffee, not only do I have to get dressed, I have to get in my vehicle, I have to drive somewhere, and it's just so many things happening before I've really woken up. I have to either put the order in the app or speak to someone, which is no, absolutely not. So I put the order in the app for Starbucks, and it's like a 10-minute drive there. I'm listening to like a true crime podcast on the way, and they're talking about two girls being stalked in a car, and this guy's like tailgating them, and I just happened to look up in my rearview mirror. I'm going 70 in the middle lane, and it was like a little bit of traffic, but not much. So like easy to maneuver around if you're in a lane you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Going, I don't even think I was going 70. I was probably going like 75 because it was a 70, so I was definitely going over 70.
Right. You have 5 to 7 miles per hour.
100%. And I look in my rearview mirror. The person behind me was so close, I could not even see their headlights. There's no reason to be that close on the interstate, especially when you can just go around me. Like,
right there,
we're in the middle lane. This is not the fast lane, and I'm still going over the speed limit. So I get over because I had to. I was being stubborn and I was staying in the lane, but then my exit was coming up, so I had to get over. And he just like gasses it around me, so I laid on my horn, which usually I would not. I would just kind of bite my tongue. But I think the no coffee yet thing was really,
right. It really
like,
didn't sit well.
It was feeding into maybe me not thinking through my decisions as much as I usually do. So got my coffee. I also, another thing on our list here, the most annoying things, the barista at Starbucks. So you know how they have the little mobile thing where you go in, you pick it up, and you leave.
Yeah.
I don't like when the baristas are trying to assist me getting my coffee.
I don't want your help.
And I have not had the coffee yet. That is why I'm here.
Yeah.
Why are we speaking? Right. Read the room, please. So they're like, let me just grab my coffee. Like it's laid out. There's freaking letter. It's like little letter cubbies. I can find it.
I know my own name. I can find it. And if it's not there, I know it's not ready yet.
I did the app, so I didn't have to talk to you. Okay. Right. No offense. It's just not 10 a.m. yet, and I have had no coffee. Okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
So grab my coffee, walking out of the coffee store, and this truck's reverse lights turn on. I'm like, okay, well, they could swing out the other way. And
Right.
then as I'm walking across, then they'll wait and then they'll go after I walk across. No, they were swinging out towards me. And I'm already in the driving lane at this point. So I'm just glaring at them. I'm glaring at the camera on their car and then also at the driver. And I can see them looking at me too, and they're just continuing to back up. And I'm just continuing to walk across the street and glaring at them. And then they eventually got to the point where they had to stop because a pedestrian is behind their vehicle.
Like,
The
I
driver,
guess
like,
I'm gonna stop.
the driver throws their hands up, and I'm just like, sorry for you. I am a pedestrian.
Right. Like, when did we start forgetting that the pedestrian has the right of way?
I don't know,
It's
dude, but
actually crazy.
I was heated over it. But then I did have my sips of coffee, and all was well. The day got better.
Yes. But we cursed that person's ancestors.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. A couple of these you could tell I was maybe PMSing. I have menstrual cramps on here, and then just men.
That's it.
Just vaguely men. And I stand by that.
Funny. And I stand by that.
I do. Oh, here's a good one. Having to tell the hair person how to cut your hair.
Right. Well, and they always have a slightly underhanded insult to throw at you, you know, like, well, you're the shape of your face. You know, like, why don't you just tell me that I look like Shrek? It's fine. Like, let's just.
Your hair's not really curly like hers is in that photo.
Yeah, they always try to talk you out of it, and it's like, I recognize that this is just an example, and I am not expecting you to turn me into Taylor Swift. I just want her bangs.
Right. And like what else am I supposed to do than find a photo of like the closest thing to my hair that I could possibly find online?
Or
like,
or the closest thing to what I want it to look like, and you just do your fucking best.
Do your job. Sorry.
Like,
that's a little harsh. This list is getting me amped up.
It's making me angry. Yeah, no, I really, equally as painful is having to sit there and talk to them while they cut your hair. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to speak. I hate sitting in front of the mirror with that cloak on. Nobody looks good like that. You're sitting there like, why do I look like one of the weird characters from Harry Potter? I'm just like, I'm thinking of the Dudleys.
You have the wrong bum.
Like, why did I choose to look like this? Like, you question everything about your physical appearance, I feel like, when you're in the haircut chair.
And I'm always so grateful to like just get a moment too of like, you know, you sit down in that chair and it's like, there is nothing that I have to do on my end for at least the next hour, right?
Right.
And then this person wants to know everything going on in your life at the moment. And like,
and I find that weird.
It is a little odd. Like sometimes you do know them like that, like if it's someone you've been seeing for years, you know,
right.
or it's like your friend.
I've never had that kind of like routine with a hairstylist. Like, I just kind of go to a place and I'm like, whoever's available is fine. Don't care.
Right. I think I already touched on this one a little bit. I realize a lot of mine on here are coffee related.
I'm from the morning. Like, because the rest of the day she's fine. It's just when she first wakes up, she's just ready to fight. I feel like that. I just don't ever change from that. I don't deviate. I stay salty.
So when I do have to go get coffee at a Starbucks, I get really like just kind of flabbergasted if I have to actually say my order out loud to the barista. Like, there's a few Starbucks where you can't just do the mobile thing. It's usually like in a Target or
right.
something like that, and you can't just do the mobile thing. So when I have to like go in there and actually tell them, like verbalize my order before I've had coffee and before 10 a.m., um, it's just very difficult for me. I remember the last time, so I usually get a vanilla blonde latte. And the last time I go in there and I'm just like, vanilla bean latte. And they're like, oh, okay. So do you want us to like put the vanilla syrup in the latte? And I'm like, I don't know. Do what you guys, they've never asked me this question before. I was so confused.
I'm so
And
angry.
and angry. And yeah,
How
it's
dare
just
you
so
try to
hard.
understand my order?
Yes, it's just so hard to it's so annoying having to verbalize the coffee order before having the coffee. Having to do anything efficiently and effectively before having the coffee. Just put that on the list. We'll put that on there.
Doesn't sit right.
Hump day.
Yeah, Thursday to me is worse.
Really, like, I like it Thursday. I start feeling a little optimistic.
I just want to get it over with. I feel like that's when I get impatient by the time it's Thursday. But Wednesday, it's like, I don't know. It's all the days suck, honestly.
Wednesdays are pretty bleak for me. Like there's just no hope. It's like you're just as far in as you have to get out.
Right. Right. And that doesn't ever make me feel better.
It doesn't.
Like,
it
okay, this one was mine. It was after you turn 30, it doesn't matter how much sleep you get, you're just always going to be tired. That is the biggest scam that they never tell you when you're growing
I can
up.
second that too.
Yeah, you're always tired. The coffee actually doesn't even matter. It just makes you feel slightly human, but still
less
dead
angry. My cats in the morning. Oh, the one has started doing this thing where he tries to get on the baby's high chair and eat things off of the high chair
while the baby's still in it.
While the baby is eating the things on the high chair. Yes.
That's incredible.
So there's that. It's absolutely Snape, yes. Okay. So there's that. And then Neville, though, like if I'm like making a sandwich or something, will not get off the counters. He's just like there. And if he's not actively walking towards my food that I'm preparing, which is so annoying because like I'll have the sandwich out and then I have to put the ham and stuff away.
Yeah.
And I have to package my sandwich up and put it in my cooler before I can put the ingredients in the fridge because the cat is just at all times there is a cat looming towards it. Yes. From any direction. There's two of them. So you just can't stay on top of it. And I've tried feeding them before thinking it doesn't matter. That it does not matter. No, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Second. Did you just send me a 2-second video of rain?
Okay, this one's stupid. Let's just skip it.
Which
that's
one?
Also stupid. The mandarins and avocado.
Those are true. That is the most frustrating thing. Buying any produce in a bag sucks. And I will tell you, I really like to buy bags of onions, bags of I saw you twitch when I said onion.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like onions.
Tori hates onions.
I was actually thinking maybe we should read this out just so people know. The one that we're talking about is when you buy mandarins and like most of them are bad.
Pretty much all of them except 3 are moldy and bad. And then
or
those
like
other
mushy.
3, you're like, these are questionable as well because they were in the mold infested bag right. With the rest.
Dude, it's and like the mandarins, why do I even keep buying them? Because it's literally like
because they're good when you can actually, but I feel like the only time they're actually good is like summertime.
Maybe we did have a really good bag recently, but it's been a while since we've gotten a good bag before that. And the other ones are just like subpar. It's like there's not even much flavor left in them. It's like I'm just throwing things that feel like orange in my mouth, but it doesn't taste like anything.
No, I don't think that was stupid at all. I hate buying bags of things and then you can't. Or the next one is actually, she says, when you open an avocado and it's brown and unusable, that is also like when it's overripe, but you think like, oh, it's perfect and I'm going to cut this open and it's going to be great. Yeah. And then it's just all nasty. I would love to have an avocado tree.
Oh, me too. Actually, we were talking about that. We might get one. We should coordinate and have different orchards. You have
That's
the
a
lemons and limes. We
we
have the
can
mangoes and
barter.
avocados. Yeah.
We can barter. That is actually a genius idea. I wish that we lived in your neighborhood. Um, I would love to sell my house and move into your
Same.
neighborhood. I
They
want to live in a
actually
neighborhood with my best friends. Like I'm
they have your house across the street from me.
yes. So
Like
I'm just going to ask if we can trade.
swap. Oh, this is a good when you have to poop right after you leave the house in the morning.
Okay. At the chess tournament yesterday, I think I told
Oh
you the
no.
bathrooms at that place are horrible because it's a civic center. It's just a public place. So it's disgusting and everything is wet all the time. And I always get a big old coffee because I'm like, if I have to sit through this entire chess tournament, I'm going to be caffeinated as fuck for the first few hours. And I got an Americano. I got an extra shot in the Americano. They didn't put enough cream, so it was just dark and I had to go so bad, but I'm like, I cannot go poop in that bathroom. Like,
Oh no.
first of all, there's only two stalls in the women's
So
room.
that's practically just putting you on blast right there.
Right. And it's nothing but little kids running around. So as soon as they hear you drop a deuce, they're going to call you out.
Someone's pooping in here. Ew, that smells bad.
Pooping. Like I cannot. And it's like it was the first thing I did when I got home yesterday. I was so relieved. It was such a long day. I can't imagine for you because you're in the field. But I mean, I guess if you're in the field, that's not as bad because you can drop a deuce behind a bush.
I have had to one time. And that's kind of a funny story. It was the day after I got my first COVID vaccine, which was Johnson and Johnson for me. It was the only one like available in my area at the time. And Johnson & Johnson was a little bit more of a doozy than the other ones. And also,
Sure.
I was just trying to like prove myself because I was like a temporary position with the job I had. I was an intern first, and then I was a temporary employee, and then I went part-time and then full-time. So I was still in the temporary employee portion of my job with this organization, and I was really trying to prove myself. I like told the guy in charge of the project I was working on that morning. I texted him at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, I'm running like a 103 fever, but like I'm just gonna take a Tylenol and like I should I should be fine. So I did that. We went out to our site. We got feeling pretty crappy the whole time, but I'm just like every 4 hours eating another Tylenol just to keep the fever at bay. And I wasn't worried because like I knew that this was like a normal reaction for the COVID vaccine. I just didn't feel very good. So the girl I was working with that day had like a bunch of stuff going on. Her like using my phone to talk to her dad. During this time, I like my stomach started really, really hurting. So I had to tell her, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Like, can you finish this up? I have to drive away with a shovel and go to the restroom."
To drive away with so specific.
And we're on like private property too. So like I was just so nervous that like the owner of the property might like drive because it's like an open pasture.
Yes.
So I found a bush to go behind and I'm sitting there squatting and a snake, a black racer comes out of the bush. So there's like kind of like a U of bushes around me and I'm like in the deepest part of the U, you know?
Yeah.
And the snake crosses from one bush to the other, right? In front of me. And it was just like such a weird sighting just for like I'm just like sitting there squatted and he like you usually don't see a snake come out like with someone there. But I think because I was so still for a little bit of time, he just like pops out. He kind of stopped and we just like looked at each other and I'm like, come on, please don't make any like fast movements right now. I'm very vulnerable. And he kind of stopped and he just kept going. I think he understood and he let me be.
Understood. I'm very vulnerable.
And then we left that site and we had to go help my other coworkers wrap up at the site they were at that was like 30 minutes away. And I had gotten my phone back. We get in the truck, we leave, we go to the other site. We're like trying to help them out. And the thing we were supposed to help them out, we needed our gear that we had with us to help them with. I go to grab the gear out of the truck. No, it's not there. So we had to drive 30 minutes so we had to drive 30 minutes back. We had no idea where we left the gear at because this is like when she was using my phone. I'm pooping in the woods. Like,
We
so we
weren't
drove
paying
back.
attention to any landmarks
Clearly.
specifically. Trying to get the hell out of there. I just made eye contact with a snake.
Luckily, we found it and we left, but it was just a long day. It was an unfortunate situation. Position.
Reminds
So
me of another story of when you were an intern.
okay.
And I had to stop at a gas station to go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
I can't believe I don't remember this other story you just told. I really don't remember that. Like I know that story and have heard it before.
Yeah, because I think I was staying with you at that time too.
Yeah, you were definitely staying with me. With the moment I'm thinking, I don't even remember specifically what happened, except for Tori left my house to go to work and needed to go to the bathroom. So she stopped at a gas station and there was no toilet paper, right? Like but you didn't realize
Correct.
until after you had already taken it.
That's accurate, yeah. And I would just like to add in here that I had asked Amber when leaving her house, I think I just asked you, like, what's a good gas station to stop at, like, around here or something? And Amber told me that was the one. You know what? It may not have. I don't think I was asking you for the bathroom. I was just saying, like, sometimes I have to pick up, like, water or something, I think is what it was. So I'm like,
it was that.
like, yeah, what's a good gas station to stop at? And Amber told me that this gas station specifically was a good one to stop at. So that's the one I chose.
I cannot fully. And then there was like no paper towels.
Oh, also no paper towels. Yes, that's.
Yeah. In case you wanted a couple of poop stories.
Yeah, so you can just use your imagination how I got out of that one.
I specifically remember the voice notes for that one. We do a lot of voice noting when we text each other. I could probably find it if I tried hard enough.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Talking to anyone before 10 a.m. and before 2 cups of coffee. I think we've covered that. I think we can check that off. Oh, my username I've had since high school is so annoying to me. It's so cringy, but it's literally my username on everything, and I don't want to change it. So it is, I guess, smile the letter U, no Tori. And it just feels so pretentious.
It's so funny. Smile, you know Tori. That's how I've always read it.
That's honestly how I've read it too. To me, it's so like not humble. It's not at the time that I made it. It suited my personality, but it just for like the last 10 years it hasn't. But what am I gonna do?
I like it.
It's concrete, you know. It's permanent.
You can't do anything about it now.
It's stuck. Yeah,
you know Tori.
And don't forget to smile about it.
I just want to know what young you was thinking when you created it. Like, what was the process?
I was thinking you should be smiling because you know me. Honestly, I was such a big extrovert at the time, and confidence was not an issue of mine. Should it have been? Maybe, but it was not.
That's incredible.
Here's a good one. The fact that they don't teach you anything in school that you actually need as an adult, such as like home buying process, how to do your taxes, how to fill out the paperwork when you get a new job, the tax information stuff. You ask the job and they're like, we can't legally tell you what to do. Who's going to tell me?
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to get this information from? Someone should tell me, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
So that's the last thing I got today.
She also has when you're out of creamer. She forgot that when she said when you're out of coffee.
Oh, we didn't.
We
Didn't
said when you're
touch.
out of coffee, we didn't touch on the creamer. Mm-mm. No, I was
Yes.
specifically waiting for you to check it off, and you never did. And I was like, "This is with the coffee stuff."
Yeah, popping back into the coffee stuff. When you have made your nice warm cup of coffee and you're ready to just like put the creamer in and just pour it down your throat, and then you realize
Ain't
there
gonna
is no
happen.
creamer. Am I still going to drink this? Absolutely. But I will do it with a little bit more of like resentment. There's
Mhm.
definitely like a little bit of resentment in each sip that like I did not plan accordingly to have milk in my fridge to go with that, or creamer. I use milk. That's all we have for today. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram at Out of Touch, the letter P cast, all one word. Follow us on TikTok at Out of Touch Moments, or you can send us an email at outoftouchcast@gmail.com. Boom.